you just how you outline in general without any specifics. So I usually start with a Roman numeral, and these Roman numerals represent paragraphs. So the first Roman numeral is going to be your intro, because that's what your first body paragraph always is, right? Then next to the A, and notice how another Roman numeral automatically pops up. If you hit tab, then there's a little A. So what I might put here is something like how I'll start, or things I'll put in my, things I'll put in my intro, but that's pretty optional. So what you definitely have to have is your thesis, though, because that's going to guide the whole rest of your outline. So next you're starting with your body paragraphs, right? The meat of your paper. So you can either just put your topic of that paragraph there, or some people like to put their whole topic sentences. They like to get really detailed with their outlines. What else does a body paragraph need? Well, it needs evidence, right? So you're going to put one piece of evidence here and make sure you include the page number, because all evidence for for all of our papers should be drawn from somewhere in the book. Otherwise, it's not evidence. And then include summaries in addition to quotes. So you're also going to, if you want to, you can include what you're going to put for analysis there too. This is optional, but I think it's really a good idea so you know where you're going. And then your piece of evidence too would go there. For your other ones, you're going to do the same thing, right? So same thing for body paragraph 3, and the same thing there. If this is a 5-paragraph essay, let's say. Then you have your conclusion. It's going to be your last paragraph. We know that. And sometimes you can put, some ideas for your conclusion there. You don't have to, though, right? You can just put conclusion. But it just depends on how ready you want to be to write that final draft. So let's look at how we would do this for our paper where we characterize Hamlet. So if we look above, we're starting with our intro. And I already know in this paper that I want to start talking about how Hamlet is usually thought of as the hero. Usually, right? Just so that I remind myself that's how I'm going to start out this intro. But my thesis is going to show the opposite. I'm going to say something like this. Oops. Regard for human life. Notice I have a nice roadmap thesis here. This is going to be my first paragraph. This is going to be my second paragraph. This is going to be my third paragraph. All right, let's dig into the body paragraph. So if you can tell by my thesis, my first topic is going to be about treatment of women. And my first piece of evidence is going to be talking about that scene with Ophelia with Get Thee to a Nunnery, where he's super mean to her. And I would put the page number in there. And I'm going to talk about how this is his treatment of someone he supposedly loves, right? And also it's especially cruel considering she's not really really voluntarily involved in anything that's happening, right? She's like a victim of this whole thing. Let's move on with my second piece of evidence would be how he treats his mother in that bedroom scene. Again, he doesn't know the reality of her. He doesn't know her full circumstances. So I'm going to have the same thing for the other paragraphs, which I'll just show you here. Second one is about how he relishes cruelty, lack of regard for human life. And then again, we finish up with the conclusion. And in my conclusion, I know I want to talk at some point about how anti-heroes on TV are really popular right now, like with Breaking Bad or The Wire, right? That we're in a period of television where anti-heroes are quite popular. They're not good guides, but we root for them anyway. And how Hamlet is sort of one of the OG anti-heroes. In that he's not super nice, but we still want him to win. So this is how you can outline for a paper. Another way to do it, you can also do it with, just bullet points. So intro, and then under that you could have your ideas for your intro, and then your thesis, and then you have your topics like this. Oops. Ophelia, don't forget your page numbers though. Where he supposedly loves her, and so on and so forth. So you don't have to do it in this format. This is what I prefer personally because it's really well organized, and then it's so easy to translate this into a paper, your first draft, once you're done. But you can do any way that suits you, so long as we're seeing how your paper is organized, what your thesis is, and what you're going to be arguing in each paragraph.